Guys, I think I'm going to be a dad. Oh my god. Hey, what's up, guys? It's Robuxian. I'm back again with another awesome video, guys. I have an important announcement to make, guys. I think I'm going to be a dad. Guys, look at my child. No, I don't think I'm going to be a dad. I am going to be a dad. This is my child. Um, its name is Falafel. Hi Falafel, how are you? How was your day? Guys, you're probably wondering how this is my child, how I came in possession of this child. Well, guys, this child was given to me by a Chinese professor. As you guys know, I went to China. I went to China to mm, I went to China to for a holiday, and I came across an old Chinese man. And as you do, you greet the Chinese man, ask him about his troubles, and basically he was telling me he lost his house, he lost his car, he lost his family, and he was basically selling literally all his possessions. He was selling his car, his house possessions, his jewelry, his shoes, his clothes, his literally everything, bath equipment, so toothbrush, toothpaste, literally everything inside a house this guy was selling. And basically what happened was he had these eggs in a weird container. Obviously I didn't know it was eggs because it was inside a container. So he brought out this weird container. It was covered in like gems and broken glass, and I asked him, Mr. Tanaku, that was his name, Mr. Tanaku. He was like, I was like, Mr. Tanaku, what's inside that jar? And he was like, dish, uh, dish, not for sale. Well, his accent wasn't like that, but it was close to it, but it wasn't like that. Anyway, and I kept on pushing. I was like, Mr. Tanaku, um, really, what's inside that jar? I'm interested. And he was like, dish. Oh, no, 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 dish, not for sale. Dish special. I was like, Mr. Tanaku, I've got the money right here. I'm ready to buy something. I wanted to take a souvenir from China back to England. So I wanted something that would, strike a chord. It would strike a chord inside everybody. Everyone, I just wanted something from China where everybody would be like, wow, what's that? Where did you get that from? And so he gently picked up the jar which had, at the time I didn't know, had these eggs inside. And there was 2 eggs inside, 2. So these are twins too. And the eggs were black, literally pitch black eggs, smooth to the touch, shiny like a bold black man's head. Literally, light was bouncing off of the egg. It was almost like somebody polished it with shoe polish. It was shiny black eggs the size of a normal egg, so like this size was that size. I was like, Mr. Tanaku, are those chicken eggs? What kind of eggs are those? Because they were really black. These eggs were really, really, really black. So he was telling me, oh, dish egg, I don't know, I just found. You could tell he was lying. He knew what was inside. But I was like, okay, Mr. Tanaku, I'll buy those. It cost me £5,000 to buy these eggs. For one egg. One egg was £5,000. And he was like, I can buy one egg. There was 2 eggs inside the jar. I was like, let me buy one. And he was like, no, 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 you have to buy 2. And he was right, because you don't want to separate 2 eggs. If they're from the same mother, you don't want to separate eggs. Like chickens, you don't want to separate them. So As you do, you buy both of them. So I spent £10,000 on these eggs, and wow, I took them back to London in a bag, like an overhead bag, because I didn't want to take it inside the I didn't want to take it inside the underground luggage where your big heavy cases are, because it might get crushed. So I took it in my overhead bag, like a small rucksack. You put it overhead in an airplane, and I wasn't really thinking about the eggs hatching. Like, it just wasn't in my brain. You'd think about what would be inside the eggs, but it was just like, oh, an egg, whatever. For all I know, it could have been chocolate inside. Who knows? So I get to London, and 5 days later, so I landed in London Friday. 5 days later, so let's say about, was it Wednesday or something like that? Wednesday, Tuesday, Thursday, I can't remember. I was sleeping and I heard this rattling noise, like almost like something was shaking. I was like, what can that be? And then I remembered that I left the eggs in my luggage, in my rucksack, at the bottom of the bag. I was just sitting there. And it kept on rattling and rattling. So I turned on my lights, and lo and behold, these two tiny little babies popped out of the eggs. These two kids you see right here, they're actually two separate babies. They came out the egg. That's right, they came out of the egg. And now it's, as you can see, they're quite grown up now. That's 3 months. They're 3 months old. The one on the left, you see on the left, is called Tikaku. And then the one on the right is called Mbonge. So Tikaku and Mbonge. I don't know what species of human they are. I don't even know if they are human. It's just a big mess, quite frankly. And so I did take them to the doctors to see, like, get tests on them. As you can see, their eyes are pitch black. I'm not sure. I mean, they behave like human beings. They can speak, but they don't look like human beings. They're my children, and I love them. So I think that's all that matters. Peace.